Muscle energy. What we're going to do here is to first concentrate on segments C2 and below through C7. We're going to take care of first FRSL, flex rotated side bent left, and then FRSR, flex side bent rotated right. So for our demonstration here, we'll start out with a 4-5 segment. So I have to be down at the 4th and 5th segment. What I need to do is place my hand, in this case my right hand, posteriorly and on the right side. It will have dual function. The first thing that my right hand is going to do is going to lift up on that segment to take that segment into extension. This is a direct approach, so I want to extend C4 on C5. So I want to extend first. Then I'm going to use my right arm, my right force, to get an arthrokinematic side glide to the left, thus side bending the segment to the right. So I have now extension and side bend taken care of, and once I do that side bend, the rotation couple in the same direction as my side bend, in this case side bent right, it follows with rotation right. Side bend and rotation right are accomplished by the simple single glide technique. So now I have the patient positioned in the extremes of what they cannot do. They cannot extend, side bend right, or rotate right. Now I have the option of resisting something, which is to say an antagonist or tight shortened segmental muscle. I'm going to use either the side benders, the flexors, or the rotators. Now the side benders and the rotators will be those on the left side, those that we wish to lengthen and have release. So for this situation, I'm going to place my left hand on the lateral aspect of the head, and I'm going to ask the patient not to let me move their head. So I move the patient to the right, they side bend left. The force is light. This light force, we are going to basically move, or resist rather, from 3 to 5 seconds. Once that 3 to 5 seconds is done, I get a relaxation. I monitor that relaxation, and I take up the available range. I do that in this situation in the frontal plane by taking up a few degrees, staying within the segment of side bending. Similarly, I could have resisted flexion. In that situation, I lift the head just slightly, so I do the same thing that I did before, same position. I lift to get the segment into extension. I glide to the left to get side bend and rotation right. I lift the head off the table just a little bit and ask the patient to hold their head up slightly as I assist them, because the weight of the head is 9% of the body weight. I assist so that we get slight contraction of the flexors. I have them hold between 3 and 5 seconds. They relax. Then I take advantage of that window of opportunity and I lift up. Now I'm in the sagittal plane to take up the few degrees of extension. I can use rotation similarly, and I can resist the left rotators by applying a force anterior to the longitudinal axis of the body. In this case, I'm superior to that. I ask the patient, don't let me turn their head, in this case to the right. They resist to the left. It's a very light force. In some situations, the osteopaths use eye movement, where they have the patient stare to the left, and that kind of force is what we're using. So we hold that 3 to 5 seconds, the patient relaxes, and then I take up a little bit of rotation through that range. Thank you. Yep. Now, as with an FRSL, now I'm going to demonstrate a very simple, similar technique But this time, instead of being positioned into flexion, side bend, and rotation left, the side bend and the rotation is to the right. So we do basically the same thing that we just did. I'll go through those motions again a little quicker this time. What we're going to do now is to place my left hand on the segment that I wish to extend and glide, but in this case I'm gliding to the right. So my left hand at a C4, C5 segment is between 4 and 5. I lift up to extend. I glide to the right to get side bend and rotation to the left. I'm going to resist her right side benders. So light resistance, don't let me move your head. The patient is attempting to side bend to the right. 3 to 5 seconds, we relax, and I glide, I take up, my left hand takes up the available motion to the right, and I can repeat that 3 to 5 times, or sometimes 3 to 7 times. So as with an FRSL, I can also use the flexors and the rotators. In this case, again, I lift the head up gently, having already taken up the available range into extension, side bend, and rotation to the left. And I did that again by lifting with my left hand, gliding to the right. From this position, I gently raise the head, have the client or patient hold their head up as I assist. A little bit of flexion. We go 3 to 5 seconds. She relaxes. Now I'm in the sagittal plane, so I lift my left hand up gently to take up the available motion. This time I'll demonstrate rotation to the right using an eye movement. So we're going to resist right rotation. I'll have my subject look to the right, a little harder than that. So as she looks hard to the right, my right hand senses tone in the neck, a resistance actually of the right side benders then is being accomplished. We hold that for 3 to 5 seconds. She relaxes, and after the right rotators contract, I gently take up the motion within that segment, few degrees of rotation, in this case to the left. Thank you.